Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This video I'm going to show you guys how I created this beautiful flawless bridal look. First off, I start with moisturizing the face. I'm using this one from this is from Mismetic, the moisture portion. I'm going to massage this into her skin using my hands. I sometimes use my brush, but I just find that using your hand is very easy to work with. You're able to just massage your products into the skin. You want to make sure this goes everywhere, especially the under eyes, because you want to make sure that the under eyes are really hydrated and moisturized. Next up, I'm going to be using this primer from Milk. This is their Pore Eclipse primer. I use this on the areas that tend to get really oily, and I make sure to avoid areas like the under eyes because I want to keep that place really hydrated. Next up, I'm using an illuminator. This illuminator is from Elf. It's a very beautiful and gorgeous shade. This will give me kind of like a glowy finish, and I really love like a glowy, clean, sweet finish. Yeah. So I'm just using my brush to put this on the areas that I want to have that glow. Next up, I'm using the Huda foundation. I think this is in the shade Gingerbread. I'm not sure. I can't quite remember. I'm just placing, I'm not blending this in yet. I'm just placing it with a brush, putting it on every area that I want it to be. I have used Huda Beauty foundation for a long time, and you can use it as a full coverage foundation, and you can also use it as a lightweight foundation. When I want my Huda Beauty to give me like a lightweight consistency, what I do is to mix it with a vitamin E, and that was what I did in this video. I mixed my foundation with a vitamin E oil. For a perfect and seamless blend, I'm going in with my beauty sponge to push and blend in the foundation. I love to use a very soft beauty sponge. I would usually just soak mine in water, and it gives me like a soft sponge to work with. So I'm just patting this into her skin. I am not dragging, I am gently pressing it into her skin. For concealer, I'm using the Tarte concealer to highlight her face. I'm just going to use this in every area that I want to highlight, as you can see me doing. I make sure to use as I make sure not to go over the top with my concealer. I just use enough, just in the right amount of concealer for my highlighting. I'll always keep saying it that less is more, less is classy, less is beautiful. I don't think you need to do too much when it comes to makeup, because makeup should be like a form of enhancement. Makeup is a way to enhance your beauty, and I don't think putting in a lot of products on the skin, it's really classy. I just love when it's just the right amount of makeup. I mean, there's no rule to makeup. This is just my own personal preference. I'm just gonna blend out the concealer using the same beauty sponge that I use for the foundation. I'm tapping into them, just pushing in the product lightly. I'm not using any pressure on her face. I'm just lightly patting this into her skin. I'm going to do this everywhere. Make sure that everything is seamlessly blended, because we don't want harsh lines. Next up, I'm warming up the skin using the Fenty Beauty foundation. I love to use foundations in place of concealers because I love the consistency. I feel like it has a lighter consistency and it's not too thick compared to the concealer. I love to warm up the skin rather than contouring, so it just gives like a sun-kissed effect. So I'm just using this to warm up her skin, nothing too much, just a little bit of it. I feel like this video is very self-explanatory, so I'm just using my brush to lightly go over the cheekbones, the corner of the nose, just to give the nose like a slimmer effect, but nothing too much. Please note that I am not dragging my brush. I am moving my brush in kind of like a circular and a round motion, lightly, and also tapping lightly into the skin. You can see that snatch the nose is already having. It's not so like so obvious because I don't want it to be, but it's still giving snatch. To add colors to the cheek, I'm using this cream blush and an orange corrector from Elegant. There's no route to makeup, whatever works for you. There are so many hacks in makeup as long as the finished look is perfect. I just love the combination of both. So I'm just doing this to both sides of the cheek to add like a flush of color to the cheeks. When you're doing makeup, your blending game has to be on point. You have to keep blending and blending until it is perfectly blended. So I'm gonna move on to setting the under eyes after I blend this out. I'm using the Mirac setting powder in shade Cinnamon to set all the areas of her face that I highlighted. This shade is a very beautiful one. I think this is my favorite shade in their collection. I'm using the Milani Compact powder in the shade Warm to just lightly bronze her face. This powder works so well for me. I've been using this powder for so long now, and it's still one of my favorite powders, and it's very affordable. I'm using the same powder to just add warmth to that part of the corner of her eyes. It's going to give me like a lifted effect, and I just love it. To bake her face, I'm going to use the Laura Mercier translucent powder. Before I go into making the under eye, I'm just going to do a reverse contour. This is going to create an illusion of a slimmer. This is going to make the face look slimmer and more defined. I don't do this every time. I just do this when I really want to like create a slimmer effect on the face. I'm going over the cream blush with a powder blush. This blush is just so beautiful. I love it so much. This blush, I cannot remember what brand this is. Oh yeah, I think this is from Champions blush, the Nigerian brand. So next up, I'm highlighting the face using Blossom highlighter. This is so beautiful. This will give you like a soft glow. Next up, I'm using a concealer to just cover up every pigmentation on the eyes. I'm just going to use like a flat brush to apply this and blend it in while I'm applying it. So guys, if you've enjoyed this video to this point, please take a moment to subscribe. Please encourage your girl. You know, it's not easy to create content, but I love you guys. So please encourage me by subscribing and clicking on the like button. Yes. So if you want a detailed tutorial on eyeshadow look, please let me know. Let me know. I would do a very detailed eyeshadow look. But I'm just doing like a very soft eyeshadow for this look. Remember, this is like a bridal look, so you want to keep the eyeshadow really soft doing like a brown soft matte look. I feel like if you're struggling to know what to create for your bride, just go for a brown soft bright look. It is like one of the perfect look for a brighter eye look here. It's very, very easy and fast to do. What I'm basically doing right now is after blending in the brown and making sure it's well blended, I'm just going back in with the concealer that I used earlier. I'm just applying it as my base. This is going to be the base for where I'll place my matte eyeshadow. So you can actually use a eyeshadow base, eyeshadow primer, whatever one you want to use, but I prefer using the eyeshadow so I prefer using the concealer. It works for me. So yes. When applying your matte eyeshadow, make sure to apply it in a tapping motion. You don't want to drag it. It is always better to apply in a tapping motion. That way you get like a seamless blend. After applying that color, I'm just going to tap use a very similar color but a little bit darker at the edge, as you can see me doing. You might not really notice the difference because the colors are quite similar, but this is it's darker. I'm just now blending in the edges to make sure that everything is perfectly blended. For this look, I am using a black pencil because I wanted the the waterline to be really soft. I wanted the black to be very, very, very soft. Um, I emphasized on the very, very because as you can see, it's really, really soft. You can use a more pigmented pencil or say a gel liner or a liquid liner, whatever your preference is. But for this look, I'm just using like a pencil that would give me like a really, really soft black black look. Moving on to the eyebrows, I'm going to use a brow gel to just make sure my eyebrows are laying flat, and this is also going to give me like a very, very natural brow, and it's going to be very easy for me to draw my brow. Using a good gel on your brow first before drawing makes it very easy for you to draw. So yes, I would recommend doing this before you draw your brows, as long as your brow gel is not greasy. Next up, I'm just using a pencil to lightly fill in the areas that is needed. I just fill in those areas that I really need to fill. I'm concealing her brows using the Elegant concealer. I did not use the Tarte concealer that I initially used to highlight her face, but I'm using the Elegant concealer. I used the concealer in Toffee to highlight her brows. Blending is one of the important steps in makeup, like I would always say. So I'm just going in with a brush to blend the concealer in. Just before I apply my lash extension, I like to use my mascara to just go over her lashes because there would definitely be like fallouts from the eyeshadow on the lashes, and I would also want my lash extension to blend perfectly with her natural lashes. After fixing in the lash extension, I'm still gonna go in with the mascara to go over it again to just give the false lashes and her natural lash a perfect blend. Now I'm using the loose highlighter. I've forgotten what brand this highlighter is from, but it's a Nigerian brand. It's a very popular Nigerian brand. I'm not sure of the name, but if you want to know the name, let me know in the comment section. Then I would try to look for it. I'm just using a little bit of this. I don't really like too much of it. This is also a bridal look and you really don't need so much. I'm using the same highlighter to open up her eyes. I'm just putting this in the edges of the inner corners of her eyes. Now I'm going in with a very tiny brush just for precision to line her lips. I'm using a brown shade of lip stain to go over her lips. I'm going to do this over every part of her lip line. I'm going to use a bright nude color for the inner corner of her lips. Using a bright lip color for a bride is really nice. It just brightens everything up because remember the makeup is very nude, so very subtle, so you want something that will make the makeup pop. And then I'm going over it with like a soft pink gloss. I'm going to use this over every area of our lips, and then I'll use a clear gloss to finish up the lips. Now I'm just trying to blend out the powder that we placed there to bake. I am dusting it off and also pushing some of it into the skin. This will give like a coverage. I'm just gonna do this like till it's perfectly blended. Yes. It's okay if you forgot to subscribe because you can actually still do so now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give me a thumbs up by liking this video and see you on my next